Who is the worker for this family?
I'm the caseworker, Your Honor.
Okay, Ms. McNeil, tell me about these kids. Where are they currently placed? Go ahead, Ms. McNeil.
So the girls are doing great now. They were originally placed at the High Plains Children's Home in Amarillo, but we recently got both of them moved into kinship placements.
All right, we have an approved home study there?
Yes, on both of them.
So we had an approved sibling split?
Oh, yes, ma'am.
Okay. All right, how are the kids doing so far?
The kids seem to be doing really well, especially since, getting out of the foster home. I know, Kylie has gone to her dentist appointment, and we're starting to get her in, or both of Krista and Kylie back into therapy, since they were seeing the in-house therapist at the children's home in Amarillo. But both of the girls are doing really well. I know Kylie is loving there being with her aunt, and she's getting lots of love there. And it's now with Krista being placed in Levelland, they are a lot closer together, which is very helpful for everybody when it comes to, transportation and placement and all of that. Krista is enrolled in school in Levelland. She got enrolled on Monday due to spring break being all last week. And she has the 504 accommodations for dyslexia. But prior to being enrolled in school in Levelland, she was doing really well in Amarillo and was exceeding in science.
Okay. We talked about some medical issues at the adversary hearing. Let me just ask, are there any medical concerns with either child?
No, ma'am. There were issues with Kylie's teeth, but she has appointments to get those fixed, I believe, in June. No other medical issues.
Okay, good. Is Krista's placement with Kendall Ashman?
No, ma'am. It is with James and
okay. And you said they're fictive kin?
Yes, they are family friends with Lindsay Fetch.
Okay. Does Kylie go to daycare or stay at home? What does Kylie do?
Right now, she stays at home with her Aunt Dana. Last time I spoke, or initially when I spoke with Dana, she was interested in getting her in some daycare, so she will have that socialization. But to my knowledge, she has not been enrolled yet in any sort of daycare.
Ms. Clift Williams, any concerns with the girls and their new placements?
And Your Honor, I've not had the opportunity to visit them in their new placements, but I have an appointment to see Krista tomorrow and Kylie on Monday. And if there are any concerns, I will definitely file a motion and get us back before this court immediately. I've spoken with both the placements. They voiced no concerns. Again, Krista was just placed on the 14th, and with spring break and new school, I'm anxious to talk to her and see how she likes her new residence.
Okay. All right. Ms. Murray, Mr. Shaw, any concerns on behalf of your clients regarding the children?
I'm not aware of any, but Lindsay, are you right? Do you have any concerns?
Right now I'm comfortable with everything.
Okay.
No concern.
Mr. Vaughn? Okay. All right, very good. We're here for status hearing, so let's talk about plans of service. What are we asking Ms. Vaughn to do in this case? Or Ms. Futch?
So we are asking both Lindsay and Timothy to submit to all drug testing, and if they are ever positive any drug screens, then they will complete an OSAR. We are asking that they both do individual counseling and follow all recommendations. We are asking that they obtain and maintain stable housing and employment and transportation throughout the life of the case. A psychological evaluation for both of them, as well as a minimum of 12 hours of relevant parenting classes. And then obviously participate in scheduled weekly visitations and notify myself if they're ever changing their address, phone number, or jobs.
Ms. Murray, Mr. Shaw, any issues with the parents' plan of service?
And I apologize, it cut out. So I heard individual counseling, I heard parenting classes, I heard drug testing and an OSAR. I didn't hear anything else.
Yes,
attending visits.
So we are asking that they both complete a psychological evaluation and only do an OSAR when they drug screen for me, if they are ever positive. And then just maintain communication with their caseworker, and if they have a change of address, phone number, employment, to notify me at once.
Is there any plan for, I think my client was interested in doing family therapy with the oldest child, so I would like to get that started. Is that part of the plan?
We can definitely add it to.
I mean, I think that's more important in my opinion than parenting classes, especially with the age of the child and the behaviors of the oldest child. So I would ask that my client participate in family counseling and remove the parenting class aspect of the family plan is what I would request.
And Your Honor, on behalf of the child, I'm not seeing any behavioral issues in regards to this child. I believe there were allegations that were made by this child, and I don't see that as a problem. I ask that the oldest child participate in counseling. I understand Ms. McNeil is setting that up for Krista, and then also for the youngest child, which I'm in agreement with. But I would like for both the parents to do some parenting classes.
Yeah, I've never heard a parent in any of my cases say that parenting didn't help. So I'm gonna leave parenting on the plan. Certainly, if therapists think that it's time to get started in family therapy after some individual therapy gets started, we'll follow therapist recommendations. But I think both would be important, family therapy and parenting. Mr. Shaw, any issues with the plan of service?
Judge, I've advised my clients with the allegations made to not do individual counseling. If he should go forward with individual counseling, I do advise him not to talk anything about any of the allegations that's gone on or his explanation for any of the allegations. Other than that, I would also advise him, if he does a psychological, not to talk about any of the allegations. But other than that, I don't see any problems with the parenting classes or drug testing.
Okay, I will approve both plans of service for each parent. Have we gotten started in any services?
Not yet, ma'am. I have just sent in their referral for the psychological examinations, and I'm currently sending in all of the requests for services today.
Okay. CASA, concerns with the children or the family or the placements?
No concerns from family.
Okay. Anything else?
No, Your Honor.
Okay, I'm going to set this for an initial presidency hearing, August the 1st at 2 o'clock.
Yes, Your Honor. Gary Mitchell Perry for the Lubbock County District Attorney's Office on behalf of the Texas Department of Family and Protective Services. Department makes their appearance through St. Francis Ministry with caseworker Kristen Ano and their supervisor Amanda Roberts from St. Francis. The department's present and ready to proceed.
Jim Shaw, attorney ad litem.
Leanne was on mute. Heather Threadgill, attorney for the father.
Thank you, Heather. Leanne Faust for the mother, Amanda Vasquez. And because I'm on my phone, I can't see everybody to see if Amanda's on or not.
I don't see Miss Vasquez. Miss Vasquez, if you're present, speak up. She might be on this LG Harmony phone.
Did text me and say that she's trying to download it and she should be in right now, Judge. That might be her then.
Okay. All right. Tell me about Miss A now. Tell me about the kids. Where are they currently placed?
Mary and Dolores are currently placed.
I'm a good mother. I don't have a record. And y'all coming at me with my kids?
Okay, go ahead.
Mary and Dolores are placed. They are placed in 2 separate foster homes, and they're all in Lubbock. Mary does not have any medical concerns. She did have dental concerns. She's having oral surgery in Amarillo tomorrow to fix an oral infection that she had in her mouth. She's up to date on all of her shots. Mary enjoys hanging out with her friends. She's making new friends at her school, even though she does wish to go back to Atkins High School or junior high where she was originally placed. She enjoys spending time with her grandma and her siblings. they're okay right now at Mason Cottage, even though she does want to move. She's having a hard time not being able to have her phone, I believe was the only issue that's going on right now. Dolores is up to date on all her medical and dental. There were no concerns there. She's doing really good. They got her into Eddie daycare and she's doing really well. She's getting along with all the other kids. She really enjoys playing with other kids her age. She's unsure at first on how to interact with kids, I believe, because she's never been in daycare before. But once she gets out there, she's really active and outgoing with the kids. She loves playing with Legos and Barbie dolls and all that stuff. Jojo is doing better in his placement. At first, we were having a hard time with him eating solid foods. He's still struggling a little bit, but we are putting oatmeal and different fruits into his milk. He's opened up a lot more. He's more comfortable in placement since I've seen him. He's smiling. He loves his foster mom, very attached. He enjoys playing with like building blocks and kind of anything that lights up gets him excited. And then Jose is kind of struggling. He's doing better now. He was admitted to UMC hospital for low oxygen levels. They had dropped into the 70s. So foster mom had admitted him, and then they put him on, they put him on a prescription, which they wanted to monitor his levels until they were in the 90s. So they monitored him for 4 hours, and then they were able to discharge him. And that was his third time in the hospital. He's been in the hospital 3 times this month so far. But right now he's doing better. He's sleeping better at night. The foster mom is making sure to check his oxygen levels every few hours. He's eating really well. His latch, there's not an issue with his latch anymore. He's gaining weight. Overall, all kids are doing really well.
Okay, is there an effort to find a placement that will take all 4?
We did do a home study on maternal grandmother, which was denied because it was just a 1-bedroom apartment. I have asked Amanda and the oldest daughter, Mary, for relatives, and they have not given me any other relatives at this time. Amanda, the mother, has stated that she's waiting for grandma to get into a bigger apartment, and then we can go back down that route if possible.
Okay, the home study on the grandmother was denied just because of the size of the housing, not any sort of background issues?
Not background issues, just financial issues also. There was no financial income coming into the home that was adequate to support 4 kids.
Okay, and you may have said this, but any sort of concerns academically with Mary?
Mary is struggling in school right now. We are getting her into tutoring services by the Mason Cottage. They're helping her. She is not passing any of her classes, but she was also failing all her classes at her prior school. So we're just trying to get those up as best as we can before the school ends.
Okay, did we do an ARD?
We did, yes. She is getting extra services in English, social studies, and reading.
Okay, do we need to do any sort of testing for learning issues or anything that might be on there?
Not at this time. The ARD meeting was just recommended for the fundamental classes for Mary.
Okay. Okay, Mr. Shaw, any additional concerns regarding the children?
Not any additional ones. They're just trying to adjust to their new placement, Your Honor.
Okay, Ms. Fouts, concerns on behalf of Ms. Vasquez?
I don't think we have any at this time. Did she ever log on?
I'm not sure. The person in the LG Harmony box, can you unmute yourself for me?
I'm here.
There you go. Tell me your name, ma'am.
Amanda Vasquez.
Okay, Ms. Vasquez, do you have any concerns regarding your children right now?
No, they're all doing good as far as I see. Just Jose's struggling a little with his oxygen. That's about it.
Okay. Would you agree that you're still wanting the children placed with your mother if we can get a way for her to get a bigger place?
Yes, ma'am. I'm in the process of waiting on my father that just passed away, his VA pension for me, and I'm going to help her get a bigger place.
Okay, be sure and let your worker and Ms. Fouts know as soon as that happens. We would love to get the kids together and love to get them placed with family as soon as we can. If that doesn't work, if you can think of anybody else that might be able to be a placement for your kiddos, let us know.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. All right, I think Mr. Ortega just came into the room. Any concerns, or he's trying to connect to the audio here. Any concerns on behalf of Mr. Ortega regarding Mary?
Not that I'm aware of, Your Honor, but if he does get on audio, we might circle back just to make sure.
Okay. Ms. Fouts, any concerns on behalf of Mr. Villegas?
No, Your Honor.
No. All right. Tell me about Ms. Vasquez's plan of service. What are we asking the mother to do in this case?
For Amanda, we have complete a psychological evaluation and follow all recommendations, attend and participate in individual counseling, participate and complete a minimum of 12 hours of parenting classes, obtain or maintain a legal source of income, obtain an appropriate residence for a minimum of 6 months, allow a St. Francis permanency specialist access into the home, refrain from all criminal activity for the duration of the case, complete an OSAR assessment and submit to random drug screening, and then continue intensive outpatient program with Grace Manor.
Okay, and have we gotten started on any of those?
We have her psychological scheduled, I believe. I referred her a few weeks ago. She had missed the phone call, but I know they had left a voicemail and she had called back and scheduled for her psychological. And both parents did actually get a job as well.
Are you talking about Ms. Vasquez and Mr. Villegas?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Okay, first of all, Ms. Fauci, any concern? Well, let's talk about Mr. Villegas's plan of
It
service.
is the same thing, except for the parenting classes. I have him completing the fatherhood fire classes.
All right. Ms. Fauci, any concerns with either one of those plans?
No, Your Honor, I think both of them have signed their plans.
Okay.
They haven't raised any questions or concerns with me.
Okay, I'll approve both plans for them. Mr. Ortega?
For Mario, I have complete a psychological evaluation, attend and participate in individual counseling as well as family counseling, and then follow all recommendations, participate and complete a minimum of 12 hours of parenting classes, maintain the legal source of income, maintain an appropriate residence for a minimum of 6 months, refrain from all criminal activity for the duration of the case, and allow any St. Francis permanency specialist access into the home.
Thank you.
I don't have any concerns about that. Kristen, have you gone over that plan of service with Mario?
I have not. I met with him last month and I actually just completed his plan of service last week. So I'm going to schedule him the last week of March to go over there and see him.
Mario, did you hear what they're asking you to do as far as the services?
Yes.
And are you okay with that?
Yes, I'm okay.
Okay, then we're okay with it, Your Honor.
Okay, I'll approve that plan of service for Mr. Ortega. Mr. Ortega, I think you had not signed into the audio when I asked you earlier. Do you have any concerns regarding Mary right now?
No.
Okay. All right, Mr. Ortega, you have a meeting set up with Ms. Aino to go over your services and get started?
Yes.
Okay, very good. Anything else that we need to take up in this case?
No. No,
No, ma'am.
No, ma'am.
Okay. Good luck to you folks. I'm going to set your first permanency hearing in the case for July the 11th. Renato, identify.
Yes, Your Honor. Gary Mitchell here for the Lubbock County District Attorney's Office. Also on behalf of the Texas Department of Family and Protective Services. The department makes their appearance through St. Francis Ministries. I do see that Amanda Faulkner, the caseworker, is here. I was expecting Miss Slay as a supervisor, but I don't see her name, so there may be someone else appearing in that role.
Amber Weatherford.
Amber Weatherford is. I see her now. Thank you. And the department is present, ready to proceed, Your Honor.
Okay. I think
Craig
Mr.
Johnson, attorney ad litem for the child, present, ready, Your Honor. Sorry.
It's okay.
Jordan Norton, CASA.
All right, Ms. Granado is also present. Mr. Mitchell, do we have Mr. Cortez pled in as a father?
I do not see that in what I had before me, Your Honor.
Okay. I think at the adversary hearing, somebody named Chayito Cortez as an alleged father in the case, and I think the plan was to add him in as an alleged father and plead him in. So let us know when that's done and let us know when we get him served. Okay, tell me about the baby. Where is Israel?
Israel is in a foster placement. He is doing very well. He's happy, healthy. I just saw him this morning. He's grown quite a bit, has a full head of hair. He is doing well with his ECI services, and they state that he's on target for his age and development. And he does not go to daycare. The foster mom is stay at home. Yeah, he likes to smile and he follows your voice. He just started smiling yesterday, so he's doing well.
Mr. Johnson, concerns with Israel?
No concerns, Your Honor.
CASA, concerns?
No concerns.
Ms. Granado, can you unmute yourself there? Yes, ma'am. Do you have any
Okay.
concerns regarding the baby?
No, right now I'm okay with where he's at right now.
Okay. All right. Tell me about Ms. Granado's plan of service in this case.
Ms. Granado, we have asked that she will maintain contact with St. Francis Ministries and myself. She will participate in all our services as outlined in the family plan, maintain safe and stable housing, a legal source of income, refrain from all criminal activity, and that she will attend and complete parenting classes through family guidance and outreach, and that she will participate and complete a psychological evaluation and participate in counseling, and that she will maintain a drug-free lifestyle, and if a positive comes back, to submit an OSAR, and that she will attend her parent-child visits. She has missed her last 3 parent-child visits.
Okay, Ms. Granado, tell me where you live? Do you live?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. All right. Is there anything about that plan of service that you don't understand or don't agree with?
No, I'm okay with everything.
Okay. Right. You had an attorney appointed to you early in the case. Would you like me to reappoint that attorney at this time?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Let's talk a minute, Mr. Mitchell, about this case. We, at the adversary hearing, discussed a possibility of transferring this case to the Lamesa area because that is where the mother lives. The case was here because the baby was in the hospital here and issues related to that. So I don't know what the department's position is at this point on transferring the case to Lamesa. I'm happy to keep the case and reappoint Ms. Eveline Donato. But if the department plans to transfer the case, then it would not be a very good idea to appoint Ms. Eveline. So I don't know, and I don't even know if you knew about any of that.
Well, I did not. I have just learned that an amended petition was filed naming, adding Mr. Cortez, and that they are attempting service by publication. So as far as transferring it, the department may have a different view, but until we know what his position is or going to be, it may be not prudent to transfer the case at this time. But if Ms. Weatherford, for example, if you have some suggestion or advice on that, we'd like to hear from you.
I guess we can just, if mom wants it there, we can just transferring it over there, but we're good here with the baby.
Ms. Granado, tell me about are you working?
No, I'm not working right now. I put applications in, so I'm just waiting to go get calls and go check on them.
Okay, do you have a car? Do you have transportation?
I don't, but I have, people that help me every once in a while.
Okay. Do you know where Mr. Cortez might be?
Yes, I currently talked to him and we came to an agreement. Well, he believes me, but he wants DNA and so to prove, that he's a father, which I know, but I told him I was willing to do that. And he said that, yeah, if it shows that he's willing to do, I guess, what he needs to do too, I guess.
Okay, I will order a paternity test for Mr. Cortez. I'm going to go ahead and appoint Ms. Eveline to represent you again. I think based on what I've heard, it might be easier for you if we set up services in Lamesa and transfer the case there. But I will let Ms. Eveline talk to you about that and then talk to St. Francis and the department attorney and see what is best. The goal, tell me your goal in this case.
Well, really, like, what do you mean? Like to get out of all of this?
Do you want Israel back in your home?
Oh, yeah, I do.
Okay. Because that's your goal, it's everybody else's goal too. Everybody sitting in this room right now has that goal as well, to get this baby back to you. So what we need to do is figure out the best place for this case to be to help you be successful in that goal. That makes sense?
Yes, ma'am.
So I'm going to appoint Ms. Eveline to represent you. What is your address? Okay. what's the best way to get a hold of you? It doesn't help much to give you an attorney if she doesn't know how to get a hold of you. What's the easiest way for her to get a hold of
Be
you?
able to call my dad's phone.
Okay, what's his number? Okay. Okay, and you said earlier that you're okay with Israel where he is in this foster home. Do you have any other placement options, any relatives or friends that you want this court to do a home study on?
Well, me and my wife had found somebody, but I haven't, like, I talked to her, but I haven't talked to her in a while, so I need to talk to her again and make sure to see if she still wants to do it. But right now I don't, so I'm just gonna leave him where he's at right now.
Okay. If you change your mind about that, please let Miss Evelyn know.
Okay.
Okay, and your worker in this case is Miss Faulkner here. And for right now, she will help you get started in your services. Okay?
Okay. Yes, ma'am.
All right. Anything else that we need to take up?
No, Your Honor.
Okay. Good luck to you, Miss Granado. Your next hearing, if it's in front of me, will
Hey,
be
Judge,
August the 1st at 2.
I don't know if Jim Bob told you,
Okay,
but
thank you.
I saw him at
Soccer game,
basketball.
basketball. I get them all mixed up because, you know, grandkid is on 3 basketball teams and 2 soccer teams. So
Yeah.
I'm worn out.
Yeah, it was funny. I saw him, and my kid, she's not very good at basketball. I just put her in it, just try to keep them active. And she fouled your granddaughter, and is her name Renly or Finley or
Ren?
Ren. She fouled her, and she said, "Oh my God, I'm sorry, Ren." And I was just, that was that kid. And then after the game, I was talking to Jim Bob, and I was just like, "Hey, which one of them? You know, which one are you here for?" And he was just like, "Oh, my granddaughter Ren." I was like, I started laughing because my daughter, she knew her. They go to the same school, so she knew her, and she had fouled her, and she was just like, "I'm sorry." So,
I think Ren can take it. Make
yeah.
her strong.
Yeah.
Let me have the parties identify.
Thank you, Your Honor. Gary Mitchell with the Lubbock County District Attorney's Office here on behalf of the Texas Department of Family and Protective Services. The department's making their appearance as well through St. Francis Ministries. The caseworker is Margaret Allen. Also present in the courtroom is the St. Francis supervisor, Amber Weatherford, and the department's present and ready to proceed.
Craig Johnson, attorney for the mother, Amanda Castro, present and ready, Your Honor.
Leanne Fouts for the father, Marcus Alonso. I'm present. I don't believe my client is.
Harding Watson, on behalf of the child, President Reddy, I'm asking that my client be excused from today's court hearing. He's placed with a paternal grandmother, but I'm President Reddy, Judge.
CASA. Christy Reinhardt, CASA.
Okay. Nehemiah is with Miss Infante, the grandmother.
Yes, Your Honor. And he's doing very well in that placement.
Okay. Healthy little boy?
Yes.
All right. Any issues in school?
No, overall, he's doing well. He enjoys going to school.
Okay. Academically doing okay? Grades are good?
Yes.
All right. Tell me about Nehemiah. What does he like to do?
He likes to play video games. He likes Pokemon. He has a lot of Houston Texans posters in his room, but he'll tell you he prefers the Chargers over the Texans. That's what he tells me. But he has the Houston posters because of his dad. But he likes to watch videos. He likes to play video games when he's able to. Just your typical 10-year-old, 9-year-old boy that likes to do those things.
Okay. I guess we need to introduce the boy to Patrick Mahomes. Just kidding. Okay, Mr. Watson, concerns with Nehemiah?
Just a few, Judge. I think as far as school, he's a little behind. I know he's receiving after school tutoring. And so I think they're working on getting him caught up. And then I just had a question as far as his therapy. I was just wondering if that got set up yet.
Yes, he's in therapy twice a week or twice monthly.
Okay.
I
Other
haven't
than
received any notes.
okay.
Since I was assigned
Was that pretty recent?
I know it was before I was assigned the case. He's seeing Dr. Lara is who he sees for therapy, and I can follow up with notes to get those for you.
Thanks, I appreciate it. Other than that, Judge, I think he's fine in the current placement.
We have an approved home study on Miss Infante?
Yes, we
Judge.
do.
Good.
And she's working on getting licensed through Buckner's as well.
While she's working on that, maybe Miss Reinhardt, do you have any concerns regarding Nehemiah? Or Miss Reed?
I don't have any concerns with his placement at all. I think Grandma is doing an excellent job of meeting all of his needs. She's very attentive, making sure he's at school, at all of his appointments, meeting with his siblings, all of that. Couple of concerns. He is actually very behind in school. He did not pass his STAR last year. And so he has been, I attended his ARD meeting earlier, and they have put in place a lot of services for him for reading and math. And Grandma is doing a great job of getting tutoring after school. And she's also getting tutoring for him on Saturdays at Patterson Library. So he is also going to be attending summer school. So hopefully he will get caught up, but teachers are concerned that he just won't do well in school until he gets caught up. So I think everyone is doing everything that they possibly can to get him caught up, and we'll just see kind of how he does next hearing, where he's at. And the only thing I'd like to see, maybe I've talked to Grandma about maybe this summer, so he doesn't get so bored, participating in some sports, because he has expressed interest in playing sports. So that's all I have.
Okay, do we think that the being behind in school, is it, what do we attribute that to? Is it a learning disorder that we need to test for, or is it just, what do we think?
I'm going to meet with the teacher next week to see how well he's progressed since his ARD meeting and since the services that have been put into place. So at this time, I don't think there is a disability. I think that for whatever reason, he was just not given all the tools he needed to do well in school. So because this is a new school, the school he's in doing an awesome job of trying to get him caught up. And this is the first time he's attended that school. So I don't know what his previous school reports.
Okay.
And Judge, I know Miss Castro had a couple of things she wanted to say about.
Yeah.
I think she figured out.
Yeah, can you hear me now?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, I'm sorry. No, he has a little slight learning disability. I know they said that his reading, he's like because they had in this other school, they had him at borderline. The only problem that he had was something about his words and his, I'm trying to look for the paperwork that I had for him that they had when they last reviewed him. But I know his reading, the way he reads is they taught me how to do it for him. Not really do it for him, but you're supposed to read the book. He was like at a, let me see, he's gonna be a 5th grader. He's probably like at a 2nd grade, 3rd grade level. But the way that you're supposed to read it to him so that he learned, he was catching up a little bit, is that you read a page to him. You kind of point out, read it to him, and then you go back and you let him read it to you, because the way he says his words, it's not, he needs to learn how to pronounce it. There's certain they didn't say he was dyslexic. They were trying to figure that out, if he was dyslexic or not. But they say that he's not, he didn't qualify for dyslexia, but he says that he gets his words backwards, kind of like meat and meat, like he thinks that's the same. So it's just, that's just a little example. I'm trying to remember all the words, because I was giving him extra homework from the school to bring home to me, So that there's some stuff that I was trying to see if I can get more involved with his learning, because with his mom, like I know Angela does pretty good, but she can't read and spell herself. And she can do some, but like the mathematics and stuff like that, she can't do it. And I know his father's the same way. But I was just wanting to see if I can get extra time so I can help him with the homework. I was needing to see how I can get involved with the teachers and stuff, because they won't release any information to me, because I'm trying to get involved in school with him to see what he needs to be caught up on, so I can kind of relay what Westwind had to Carmona, because they probably need to do another reevaluation. That they did one there, but I don't know how this other school does.
Okay. Let's talk about Ms. Castro's progress and services.
Okay, Your Honor. Currently, Ms. Castro she's living with her sister. She is currently on disability as far as employment verification. She has been participating in counseling once a week. She completed her psychological in January. On her last drug test in January and February, she did test positive for barbiturate, and we haven't got the drug testing back yet for this month. She has started printing classes, but has not completed them at this date. She is participating.
I did complete parenting classes with the.
Hold on, Amanda, just
Catholic
go
Charities.
ahead and let her finish, please.
Okay.
And then she has been referred for an OSAR, and then she is doing well with her visitation with Nehemiah.
And Judge, just on the barbiturates, Ms. Castro is paraplegic. She has disabilities, and she is taking prescribed medications for those things like tramadol, Tylenol, codeine, baclofen, and various muscle relaxers as well. And those would be she's not taking any illicit drugs. That's not been an issue in this case. So I don't think that's a problem, but we can get any prescriptions to the department that they might need to confirm what those are for. And then I think Ms. Castro was saying that she completed the parenting classes. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. What about Mr. Alonso?
Mr. Alonso has completed 2 parenting classes. He has not provided information regarding his housing. He has not provided income verification. He was participating in counseling with Mr. Gatlin, but we had to put in a new authorization for that, and it hasn't started yet. He has been referred to a psychological, but hasn't done it. And his last UA in February was negative, but his one for March is still pending. And he is participating in visitation as well with his son.
Okay. How does that go?
It's going well.
All right, Ms. Fouts.
Mr. Alonso hasn't provided me with any information about additional services that he may have completed, but I think he's trying to do what he can.
Okay. Anything else on Nehemiah?
Yes, Your Honor. Just Ms. Castro had requested at the status hearing, she had asked for a home study be done on her father, the maternal grandfather. And I don't know what the status is of that. I know she's reached out to Margaret a couple of times, so I just would like to make sure that's being done. And then also on the issue, she would like to have a little, more visitation time with Alonso and in a large measure to work with him on the schoolwork and things like that.
Is the status of the home study on the maternal
grandparent?
To my knowledge, I wasn't aware of that. I'm not sure if it was requested or not, but I will follow up on that regarding that and get that information from Ms. Castro.
Okay, that's the second time we've heard that. It was requested at the adversary hearing. It wasn't done. It was requested again at the status hearing, and it wasn't done. If it's not done in the next 10 days, let me know, Mr. Johnson, and I'll file the department in contempt.
Yes, ma'am.
And yes, let's increase mom's visitation. Sounds like she's doing well in services.
Thank you, Judge.
I'm going to set this for a permanency hearing and a final hearing July the 6th at 9 a.m.